Today we're going to go over the Stress Management, Art Therapy, and Mental Disorder Awareness After-School program that I would like to create. My name is Stephanie Stewart and welcome to the Town Hall at Centennial Middle School. What is the problem? What we're going to do is go over the issues and concerns and the reason why this program has become needed. How is this affecting the community? How are we going to change the problem? And in the closing are some contacts for myself as well as the school board. I will implement an after-school program focusing on improving students' stress management skills, psychological problems awareness, treatment options, and art therapy. Also, we're going to measure students' progress by completing a survey every 6 months, concurrently reducing the number of behavioral-related incidents by 20% in Centennial Junior High by August 2020. Cognitive development is hindered during adolescence when they have mental health and they're not able to seek help. 12 studies examined changes in mental health symptoms of adolescents. 8 of these studies examined internalizing symptoms only. Of all students that reported internalizing symptoms, only one of these reported a consistent improvement in mental health in recent decades. A Scottish study utilized 4 questions from the Health Behavioral among School Children studies, incorporating confidence, helplessness, feeling left out, and feeling about life. So with this, being able to solve problems and make decisions will be hindered if students end up internalizing the issues that they are going through. What they need to do is have some kind of outlet and have a program like this one that we can help them with. Here are some common effects of stress on the body. Headaches, muscle tension or pain, chest pain, fatigue, change in sex drive, stomach upset, sleep problems. Common effects of stress on your mood is anxiety, relentlessness, lack of motivation, of focus, feeling overwhelmed, irritability or anger. Mental health problems affect 10 to 20% of children and adolescents worldwide. So seeing that statistic, we really need to understand there's a reason why we need a program where students are able to reach out and actually talk to our peers instead of internalizing the issue. This is a little chart. I will send this out in the newsletter if you guys sign up for it in the back of the classroom or auditorium. And here's how stress affects our body and mind.
Stress is usually seen as something we need to avoid. This is not true. We need stress, and we need our body's stress hormone cortisol to rise and fall throughout the day. Stress helps us wake up in the morning, helps us focus, learn, and remember new things. It's when people experience too much stress and start having difficulties coping that stress becomes a problem. High levels of stress can disrupt the natural changes in the body's stress response system and start to affect our physical and mental health. Over time, accumulated stress can result in false FFF response activations. When trying to measure our stress tolerance, the bucket analogy can be helpful. Our stress tolerance, or the size of our bucket, is a product of our genes, personality, and life experiences, and its size varies from person to person. The water in this analogy is the combination of all the stress in your life. We use the coping strategies we have available to keep our bucket from overflowing. They are like taps that allow water to drain from the bucket. Stress can include training, work, school, relationships, finances, moving, changing jobs, or the loss of a loved one. Both positive and negative experiences will affect the water level. A big bucket can hold more water or stress before it overflows. With a smaller bucket, less water is required for the water or stress level to become critical. While you can't change the size of your bucket, you can make life adjustments to reduce water coming in. You can also learn new coping strategies and stress management techniques to allow water to drain out. Mind tools, exercise, Quality sleep, relaxation, and sharing your feelings with friends are some examples of effective water taps. Staying up late, sleeping in, drugs, inactivity, procrastination, suppressing or ignoring problems are examples of unhelpful coping strategies or false taps. They might give temporary relief, but actually result in water flowing back into your bucket.
Mental disorders affect students' early childhood emotional and social development because they are no longer willing and able to interact with other students in a normal way. Like in the video we just saw, if you internalize and you stop yourself from talking to other people, it's only going to get worse. With this program that I am creating, it's going to be an outlet both using art as well as talking out their issues. Social connections are hindered because of the internalization. This after-school program will break that barrier. Students will feel comfortable with talking about their stress and issues. The goal is to make it normal to talk about mental disorders. Now, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but without having an outlet to talk about it, it's going to be harder and harder for students to feel comfortable with it. I will take a survey every 6 months to measure the development and progress of the participant's mental disorder. In a study, the evidence indicating increases in psychological disorders among young people, they suggest the need for greater attention at the level of primary care, or given evidence that this age group finds it difficult to consult their GP with mental health concerns within school or alternate counseling services. So this tells me that yes, our students are internalizing their issues. They have no clue how to deal with it, and they have all these resources, but who's going to say, oh, how do I go to the doctor and talk to it? How do I talk to my parents? What if they see that I'm researching it on the computer? They don't know where to turn. So having an after-school program will eliminate that confusion of where to go.
I just tried that Amazon hack that is all over the internet. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's called Wikibuy.
I'm Deb Shoemaker, and I'm an art therapist with Integrated Therapy Associates, and I would like to talk with you a little bit today about art therapy and children who have depression. Usually I have talked to their parent or guardian or whoever the adult is taking care of them, and so it will possibly, most likely, already be identified that they have depression. If not, I will do the first session a kind of assessment, and that would look like just having them create self-directed drawing. And again, I'm looking for indicators of depression, which are little or just one use of color, or using a pencil, like pressure on the pencil or marker, making very small images, making self symbols that are very small or in compromised settings, like there might be or just a little tiny figure for self, and maybe a dinosaur that's huge, or a dragon or something that just feels overwhelming. Or there might be lots of clouds and raindrops. So I'll be looking for those kind of graphic indicators in the beginning to sort of assess. And then for treatment, one of the things I do with my children that I work with is talk about the metaphor of finding a silver lining behind the dark cloud. And we actually cut out dark clouds, and I have aluminum foil for the silver lining clouds. And then we work together on naming what's a dark cloud and giving it a name. And then we work together to think, well, what was the good thing that came from that? And so that's to help them just restructure the way they see things, so things aren't always the glass half empty or everything's dark and gloomy. So part of that is a practice and a skill, and just learning how to look at things differently. And that might be one of the ways I work with someone in art therapy who has depression. Remember to always consult with a professional art therapist for more information.
All right, so the next step for advocating for change, we as a community need to pull together and make sure our students and children feel comfortable speaking about mental health issues or concerns. There are many students that point out that students are internalizing and shying away from getting help. Parents and teachers need to direct them to the correct resources and websites that can help them. So what I need is research and understand the benefits and the needs of change, explain the ideas and concepts of the community today, create a team, go to the school boards for approval, register as a nonprofit, fundraise and apply for grants, find teachers, art therapists, and psychologists who are willing and able to take the time to participate in the after-school program, recruit more parents help, expand to other schools in the district, city, and state. So I am asking today for my audience to join me in spreading my vision and message of how important it is for adolescents to understand ways to cope with their mental disorders and stress and changes. I'm not changing any laws, policies, or regulations. I'm merely trying to create an after-school program where students can feel comfortable with talking about their mental health status, stress, concerns, and questions. With this too, it's not just a counseling session. They're going to be able to create artwork and have a potentially amazing outlet to let their stress out. I need your support. So please email, call, and talk to our school board and other parents, teachers, and other teachers about this proposed program. In the back, there's a sign-up sheet so that you can be added to my newsletter, and also a volunteer sign-up sheet. And here in closing, I want to give you guys the contact information. So I'm up here at the very top, Stephanie Stewart, and then down here is our school board. That's going to be our initial very first step that we need in order to talk to these people and try to create this art program, is to talk to the school board first. And then we'll work our way up. Thank you guys for attending this town hall, and I hope you guys have a great day.